responsibility and remember she, meaning you, mother, cared for you when you were young. When you couldn't do anything for yourself, God provided somebody to do something for us, and that's why we're here today.
Peace, peace, family. We are back again. And today we'll be building on learning to forgive mama. Right? We got to learn to forgive our moms, especially as black men. It's one thing that we have to do, right? Many of us have, um, not the best relationships with our mothers at times in our lives. And it's something that we have to learn to fix, right? And it's a lesson in learning to fix this relationship. This is a vital relationship, and this relationship has to be fixed, right, for us to heal, right? Me and my mom, we're in a great place. We're probably in the best space that we've been in a decade, and that's a beautiful thing, um, because our relationship was terrible at one time, right? It went from me, I was my mom's baby until my brother came. I was my mom's baby, and I love moms. I always love mom. And of course, everybody love their mom. Now, all children see uh, mama as God, right? Mama as God. That mama means God in the universal baby language, right? So, when we see our parents as God, when we see our mother as God, we believe that mom can't have any flaws because we see God as a perfect being. And that's why, even as a child, you spend that 10 months in the womb with your mother, and you're being bonded spiritually, right? Where she eats, you eat. You know how she feel, you feel. And that's a spiritual 10-month connection even before you make it into, you know, the physical world. You already bonded spiritually. So this is a part of you and always remains a part of you from the moment that you are even conceived, right? So when you come out, you see mom as perfect. It don't matter if your mom got $2 in her pocket. You love mama as a kid, as a baby. You love mama genuinely. Mama could slap you across your head, and then 5 minutes later, you like, "Hey, mama, I love you." This is an unconditional love that we have for mama, and all babies universally have that for mama, right? Because mama is God. Mama is God, and with us seeing God being a flawless being, right? A flawless, uh, you know, individual. When we look at mama and we see God, we also see mama as flawless, right? And it's kind of like the Wizard of Oz. Sometimes, when you get to the end and you pull back that curtain, right? And then the truth is revealed to you. Mama is just a human being, right? Mama's just a human being, right? She got pregnant at 17, 18, 19, sometimes earlier than that. She's just a human being. She didn't have a dad to show her how to love correctly. She didn't have a dad to show her how to love correctly. Her mom maybe didn't love her correctly, you know? And this is a cycle that's passed on. It's a cycle that's passed on because all of us are damaged people. We are all damaged people, right? No matter what kind of car we buy, no matter what how much the shirt we buy, you know, these things that we feel add value to us because of the price, right? And in the song, um, Vic is Afraid, right? It's a psychological evaluation song. Uh, and we must deal, it's tied into and inspired by Beau is Afraid, right? Ari Aster. Beau is Afraid, which is a psychological film about a man with chronic depression and chronic anxiety and deep mother issues, right? On a hero's journey to get to his mother, right? And what he's trying to do is really he's trying to heal himself, right? So on my song Vic is Afraid, uh, it said even with an M dog, you still him, still drowning in your own trauma. So learn to swim, right? You have to learn to swim, cause even with an M dog, you still him, still drowning in your own trauma. So learn to swim. It's something that you have to deal with. It's something that we can't get away from, right? Um, Mama is God. Mama is God. And when we learn this, as kids, it's something that's part of itself. It's something that doesn't even have to be taught, right? It's just a universal language. Uh, Mama is God to you. And what happens when you get older and then you realize that, God ain't perfect, right? You're let down because you put these expectations on a human being, right? So you put these expectations on a human being, and 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 that it hurts you to see your mom hitting you, right? Not giving you the love. You dropping 40 points in the basketball game, 30 points in the basketball game, and you look in the crowd and mama not there, right? Mama ain't there in the crowd to cheer you on, but all the other guys on the team, their moms is there, and your mom not, and you the best player on the team. See, these type of things, they stick with the psyche. Even when you don't know, it's sticking with the psyche, right? That time your mom hit you across your back with that belt, you felt betrayed. Again, you turned around and said, I still love you, mama. I still love you, you know? And as you got older and more rebellious, you and your mother got into a um darker place because now you were easier to control, but now you have your own mind, and now you have a lot of resentment built up for your mom, and now you uh are bold enough to say it, right? The truth has been revealed that mama is not perfect, and since you don't understand that, mama is just a human, you hold her to all these expectations that she didn't meet. And you carry that anger and that pain with you through life until you heal. And you have to heal. And that's what we're talking about today, right? So this is learning to forgive mama. And that is 1,000 words before the lecture start, right? 1,000 words before the lecture start. Many niggas left the earth, but not many niggas left their mark. But you will. But you will, right? Now let's get into this, right? We're going to look at the film Baby Boy and analyze the film Baby Boy from the angle of Jody and his mother, right? Jody had a teenage mother similar to me, right? Had a teenage mother. So we have a teenage mother. She's figuring out life with a child because she's still a child, right? And you get to watch mama make all these mistakes, and you get to judge her like you perfect, right? You don't start off judging her because mama is God, but as you get older, you start to see the flaws in her, and that builds up a resentment. And if you don't fix that resentment, it'll haunt you through all your relationships with the opposite sex, right? So this relationship with your mother is very, very vital. And I want to help you with that today if I can, right? Because this is what helped me with my mother, right? And now I'm a happier being, right? Now, again, we're going to look at John Singleton's film Baby Boy, inspired by Frances Cress Welsing. Peace to both of the ancestors, right? Now, we're going to deal with Mama Gotta Have a Life Too, right? That was in the film Mama Gotta Have a Life Too. Now, this is, even though this is a simple quote, it means so much. It says so much because for me personally, when I was growing up, right, I had a young mom and she was single and she liked going to the club Friday, Saturday, you know what I mean? And those was the days that I really wanted to spend time with her, right? To a degree, because I mean, sometimes you like, you like, sometimes you wish your mom was gone, right? So y'all can have the house to yourself. But you know, in this sense, um, we would Friday and Saturday she would always go to the club, and I love my mom. I wanted to be around my mom. And the other day you got to go to school, so as I was a kid, I wanted to be around my mom. So, but she was always on the go, right? And so her being always on the go, uh, you know, I think it built up resentment of like, man, and then you got to understand this too. For all the women that's listening to this, if you got young sons, right? Uh, Keep in mind that your sons are watching you. So as you getting ready for that club, and you and your girls, y'all getting ready to go to the club, and y'all got them tight fits on and all that. In the back, the pre gaming, you know, the young boys is looking at that, and it may be doing something to their minds as they get older and older, you know, giving them a negative view on women, even if it's not always perceived to what it looked like, because most of the time it's not. A lot of women just going out to have fun, but this is just a perception thing. So you have to be weary of your young boys looking at you, throwing the tightest fits on, as you exit out, exit out the door. So mama gotta have a light too. See, Jody is a young man who was a teenage parent, right? Jody was a teenage parent. His mom had him as a teenage parent, right? So that there you see the cycle, right? So he's the boy version of her. He's the boy version of her, and she was spoiled. He was spoiled. Jody's mom is living in the house that was passed down to her by her mom, and Jody's living with his mom in that house. So even within that writing, you see the cycle of being blessed one and also being spoiled, right? So Jody spoiled. He don't want to leave the house. Well, I gotta leave the nest. Well, I gotta leave the nest. You ain't never left the nest. This grandma house. That's what he said, right? So she babied him and spoiled him. And since his father was not around, right? Jody's father was not around. Uh, Jody and his brother became like the men of the house at an early age, right? At an early age. I was the man of my house at an early age because it was me, my mom, and my sister, later on my brother. But it was no man. I was the man of the house. So this is how the young boys feel. They naturally take on that man of the house role, right? But you can't control mama. Mama make her own decisions, nigga. And mama gotta have a life too. So I'll be back. I'll be back at 4 in the morning, 3 in the morning. You know what I'm saying? Whatever, whatever. Now, with that being said, right? Uh, this is the dynamic in their relationship, right? And since the mom was young, they got to see her make young woman mistakes, right? So Jody holds a resentment towards his mom, although he admires her. So when you watch this film again for the 2000th time, pay attention to that. Pay attention to how he sit back and watch her in the garden, but at times he shows that he's looking at her with a little bit of resentment, right? So, for example, Jody blames his mom for his own bad behavior as an adult because he does not want to look in the mirror, right? He don't want to grow up. So he blames his mom. And that's what many of us do. We blame our mom, right? So instead of becoming a man and embracing that, he would rather blame his mother for his brother's death, right? Because Jody's brother died in the film, right? He died. Mom kicked him out and he got killed. So Jody hangs that over his mom's head anytime she wants him to grow up and be a man and go on his own hero's individual journey. Because this is a hero's journey film from boy to man, right? Uh, Jody don't want to do that. He hold it over his mom's head and guilt trip her and tell her you kicked my brother out, and that's why he went out there and died, right? And we all know that that's not true at all. For whatever reason he died, it had nothing to do with the mother, right? However, Jody, in his childish ways, and resentment towards his mom for kicking his brother out and his brother leading to his brother's death. He holds that over her head, even though it could hurt mama, right? He also uses he used that as an excuse to live in the house that was passed down from his mom's mom, uh, his grandmother to his mom, right? So Jody, that scene right there alone shows that Jody's mom is trying to encourage him and Yvette, which is his old lady and his child's mother, to get a place and do their own thing. But Jody don't want to grow up. Jody don't want to, right? Jody want to live with mama. And you can't kick me out, mama, because then you be a bad mama that got like the bad mama that got my other brother killed, right? So that's the resentment in Jody and mom relationship now, right? Now, again, Jody does not trust his mother's dating choices, right? He says that his mother loves street niggas, right? Is the scene with with Ving Rhames. When they meet Ving Rhames, Jody always asks him, Mom, why you gotta deal with these street niggas, right? So he had to witness his mother be abused by men in the past. And he's defensive, he's protective of his mom. That's why he don't want her dealing with street niggas, right? It didn't show us what street niggas she dealt with before Melvin. However, for Jody to be this protective of his mom and ask her, why you always got to deal with these type of niggas? What is Jody seen, right? So, and in the black community, sometimes young black men have to grow up faster. Young black boys have to grow up faster because their mother chooses to date men who are not good for that environment over and over and over and over. You gotta understand when you see some of these sisters dating these dumbass street niggas, right? I used to be a dumbass street nigga myself, but yo, that's I was a cool nigga though. Like it's RP Chris, right? Chris was somebody I idolized growing up a little bit, street nigga. I got a song called RP Chris on Me and Kier album, and it's dedicated to him. He was a street nigga, but I used to ride with him. I remember before they was calling it the trap, uh, they was calling it the spot. They was calling it the spot. And I'll be around this nigga as a kid. Nigga be making plays. Nigga, I'm not lying. Real talk. So he's one of the first niggas I seen like really moving heavyweight, and I was about 8. He dropped me off at school, and nigga had the music blasting it. He had the slugs and the creased jeans. All real dope boy shit. So that was that. I idolized him. You know what I mean? I idolized him, and as when I got older, I want to do that. I want to do that too. My dad was a hustler too, so like, but yeah, that was my introduction to that. So all of them not bad. All of them not bad, but however, sometimes when your mom meet certain niggas, they bring niggas around that don't have the best intentions to be around their kids, right? Certain street niggas. Now, that's not to not all street niggas. Like I say, some street niggas is good. I was a street when I was in the streets. I was always good to the kids of the women that I dealt with. You know what I'm saying? I'm always show love to the kids. Vic love the kids. Like Trick say he love the kids. You know what I mean? Now back to the lesson, right? Now, so but for some of these women that bring these type of niggas around, it's not always good for the children, right? Niggas get to abusing their mama and slapping their mama upside the head, mistreating their mama, got their mama crying. I seen that too. I seen niggas come in and play my mama, have my mama crying, have my mama acting crazy at the damn house. So, niggas with not the best intentions, right? So, that's why Jody shows his distrust in her and his mom's dating choices, right? Another resentment for his mom. Now, uh, you know, for some again for my ladies out there who got children, right? As crazy as it is, mama gotta have a life too, right? Make sure the kids is sleep. Make sure the kids is really really sleep when you bring these niggas in the house and y'all in the back fucking all loud and shit, right? Just doing the most. Kids is paying attention to all that. That nigga ain't my daddy. You in there making hella noise with that nigga. You think the kids is sleeping. You know what I'm saying? He in there beating it up. You know what I'm saying? Like, and then he gone in the morning. You know what I'm saying? He gone in the morning. That's another blow to mom's image in the house. Like, yo, who was that nigga last night? That wasn't daddy. My daddy gone. Right? So Look at that too. Like that's what the film showed you too, right? When Melvin smashing the mom and all loud as hell, and mom, Jody in the living room sleep. Even though Jody's a grown man, Jody represents the baby boy, right? And that make him, he upset he more upset to him and his mom relationship. People seen this as a comedy element, which it was, but it was deeper than that. This was a psychological film that John was hitting us to. And that's more resentment for mama. Damn, man, mama fucking this nigga all out. Excuse my language. I know I usually keep it a little bit more cleaner, but you know what I'm saying? Uh, mom hitting this nigga all out. So, uh, random niggas too. Like, just came over. So, this is why Jody and P is in the room the next day. Like, should we smoke this nigga? You know what I'm saying? Now, growing up, so as a kid, Jody hated to see his mom get dogged out by his dad, right? But as he got older, he began to dog out his son's mom too, right? That's what the film showed. Cause even though Jody don't trust Melvin's intentions, he mistreating his own baby mama, right? So Yvette, Yvette and Jody mama is have a spiritual bond because like Yvette told the mama, like Yvette told the mom and the mom told Yvette, well the mom told Yvette, Jody daddy used to do that to me. So I understand it. And he's showing that cycle. John Singleton showing us that cycle of mistreatment for the black woman, right? By the black man, right? So that's another cycle element that was shown in the film. Now, see, Jody is jealous of his mother's new relationship, right? Now that Melvin is around and he's sticking around, Jody is jealous of this relationship, right? Uh, Jody, and this what happens usually. You see these women some of these sisters that been single for a long time, and then they bio it say such and such son, such and such mom. They have got so locked into mom mode, and some of these black sons is literally like they mama's mans. They dressing them like they man, and they cooking for them, cleaning for them, all that. You know what I'm saying, for years, and then when this nigga come, the young black boy, he really don't know his role. He's jealous. He becomes jealous. Being jealous is a natural thing. You don't even have to teach that. It's just inside the human body, right? It's just something you have to control, like through fasting and learning to control, and But so as these boys come in, they see their mama start to cooking for another man, cleaning for another man. Another man get the word first. Another man get to choose where we eat dinner at. You see what I'm saying? They're jealous, and this is what Melvin was telling Jody. See, baby boy, you got a identity crisis. You think your mama is your woman, but she your mama, right? That's my woman, and that's what a lot of these boys have because, because the daddy wasn't around, so it was just them and their mama, and they believed that they was the man of the house. So then when a real man actually do come to the house, it's a crash between them two, and that's what you see between Melvin and Jody, right? Uh, Now, many young black boys grow up spoiled by their single mothers, and mom always treat them first. Again, that's why when a new man come, like we see in the film, when Melvin comes, it's a clash between him and Jody, and they're fighting over the mom, right? That's the replacement, right? Jody losing his attention from his mom. He losing her attention, and now Jody got to get the fuck out the house. He know also he about to have to get out the house now too, right? So that's another element. Dear Mama Tupac, right? The Tupac painting on the wall is fitting throughout the whole film. As we know, this role was created originally for the legendary Tupac, right? Dear Mama, to one of Tupac's biggest songs, right? A song about forgiving mama for her imperfections. Even though you was a crack fiend, mama, you always was a black queen, mama. See, this song is Tupac doing his spiritual healing, even at the young age he was at, to understand that even though his mom wasn't perfect, right, and they had it out for each other at one time, he needed to heal this relationship. And You know, he forgave his mom for being a crackhead, for sending him all across from New York to Baltimore to Oakland by himself, to the Bay by himself. He could have held a lot of hate for his mom, but he learned to forgive her, and he was showing that to the world, right? Even though your mom ain't perfect, we have to learn to forgive mama, right? And it's not for her, it's for us, because we can't carry that pain with us. Because if we do, it's gonna haunt us in every relationship that we get in, right? And if you think about Tupac, when he caught the case, right, and when he caught the case with the woman, you know, and he was fighting this case, you know, he think about the pain and the hurt that he was coming with. You know, that video where he's fuck them hoes, fuck them bitches and all that. That's a nigga with pain. That's a nigga with mom issues, right? And then when he catches the case and he's able to analyze and heal from that, then he can appreciate women more. He can appreciate black women again. And then he can appreciate his mom. And by him appreciating his mom and healing that relationship, it heals his relationship with all black women, right? And that was vital, because Tupac is supposed to play this role of Jody if he doesn't die tragically, right? So Tupac is on the wall throughout the whole film, right? Now Melvin walks in on P and Jody talking about killing him if he hurts mama, right? And Melvin gives them a lecture because he used to beat them, right? He used to beat them also. But the message in the scene again was young niggas in the streets will kill, steal, and deal for mama. Every nigga in the streets, I'm doing it for mama. Every nigga go to the draft from the streets, I'm buying mama a house. Right? This is how 70% of black homes are single parent homes. All these, what y'all niggas calling YN, these young niggas, they been raised by mama. You know? They all seen this shit. Right? So mama is vital in the black community and also in the black man's life. Right? Again, mama is God. Mama is God. Now, mama can become a friend to the single child, right? Single boy, right? As we seen in the film with, you know, Jody would be sitting with Monique and his mom, and they would be talking, and they, you know, they having a good time. Why? They playing cards or whatever, and you know, they just talking to Jody, and you see the friendship in their relationship, right? Remember, they're teenage parents, teenage parent, so she's close with him. At times, this was all she knew. Her babies, right? And by becoming a friend, sometimes you learn too much about your mother. That's the only downside to it, right? All her flaws, and you hold it against her later on, as we talked about previously in the bill, right? And we use that as a weapon. But that's wrong because, as we know, mama is human. And once we start seeing mama as a human, we take off all those godly expectations on her, right? Take off all those godly expectations on her. She's a human, right? When Jody's mom blames him for growing weed in her garden, remember that scene? Jody mom finds some weed in her garden and she gets tight, right? And she blamed him. But later to find out it was actually Melvin who was growing weed in the garden. And Jody felt betrayed because he feels his mom chose a man over him, right? And the way she came at him, he want her to come at Melvin the same way. Right? Now here's the thing. This shows us that Jody has always felt like his mother has chosen men over him. Right? He's jealous, but also, how often does this happen? Right? Because you choosing this nigga over me? Your blood? Your kin? Your baby? You are not a baby. That's what she tried to tell him. You're not a baby, my nigga. But he, like Dr. Crescent Wilson said, the black man have the baby boy mentality until he learned to grow up. And healing is the first step to growing, right? But you have to look back when you go to that AA, right? When you go to that addiction home, first thing you have to admit is, hey, I'm such and such, and I have an issue. Right? You can't heal it until you reveal it. Right? So many mothers make this mistake because they want to find love from a man. Right? So uh, be weary of finding the balance. To my moms listening to this with young boys, right? Um, don't put the man over your child. I understand that it's levels to it. However, you have to find some type of balance, right? And that's my yacht, right? You have to find some balance. Balance is life. Now, again, we're gonna deal with this quote now. You are not a baby anymore. You have your own life, mama. Damn, that hurts. Jody hurts when he hears his mom say that, right? Now, Melvin finally lets Jody have it. Y'all remember this scene? He tells Jody that he is suffering from a baby boy complex, right? Dr. Francis Cress Wilson. That's what this film is about, right? The black man in this baby boy complex. He wants to be his mother. He wants his mother to be his woman, but she's not his woman. She's Melvin's woman now. And since it's true, Jody reacts, right? And lashes out, right? Cuz I got heat for niggas like you. That's what he said. You know? Melvin puckered up his lips for him. Was, you sweet nigga. I don't feel you a little nigga. You think you a man. But I see all the flaws in you. See, as Melvin have come into the house, Melvin just watching Jody. He's studying him. And all he's seeing is, like he said, I ain't said nothing to you out of respect for your mama, but I've been seeing you as a little nigga. You just a boy, nigga. And you need to grow the fuck up. See, Melvin is the hero of the whole film. Melvin is the hero of the whole film. Right? So it's a black man that can guide it's the black man that saves the black boy from the childhood mind state to rise up to that man. And you don't baby him. See, Melvin didn't baby him. Mama babied him. She thought it was good for him. Or she went too hard on him. Right? Trying to be a man. Trying to feel like, my mom at times was hard on us. She was thugging. She get mad. Bitch ass nigga. Hood shit. You know what I'm saying? Fuck ass nigga. In the midst of an argument, and this is how some moms deal with you when you get into the age where you rebelling. You feeling yourself and y'all ain't feeling each other. And she feel like she got to take on the role of the man, and she overdo it and she become abusive, right? And it just does more damage. But Melvin comes in without the emotion and with the logic. He just sit back and watch Jody sitting on the bed, sitting on the couch, not being productive, not taking care of his kids like he could, right? He peeping all that out, living up in the house rent free, and he lets him have it, right? So by the end of the film, Jody has learned to forgive Mama, right? After, we seen the scene, and it's a vital scene where P and Jody go on to hit the kill. They go to kill for they go kill Snoop's character, right? I forgot his name. They go to kill. Y'all know the film. They go to kill Snoop's character, and when Jody shoots Snoop, because all throughout the film, all of the characters, all P is a baby boy, Snoop is a baby boy. See, P is a baby boy at the house, acting like he being productive, act like he going to work looking for a job, but he at the house, he at Do Dirty House playing Madden all day. See, he's a baby boy too, living off his old lady. He's unproductive too. He's a baby boy too. He carries that anger and that pain too. That's why in the end of the film, you see him getting baptized and hugged by the mama. right? So he's a baby boy. Snoop is a baby boy. He ain't got no home. When he in jail, he's sticking to Yvette. He want to get inside that house too. His beef with Jody is, that's my house. I want to live with her too. So the film is displaying all young black niggas as baby boys. All young black niggas in this film is the baby boys, the niggas that jump Jody at the store, them baby boys too. Right? So when they chase Snoop down after the drive-by and Jody and P shoot Snoop and kill him, that's a death of the baby boy Snoop's character physically, but that kills the baby boy that's inside of Jody. Right? When he kills him, he kills the baby boy inside him. Kills that innocence. Right? And when he goes home and gets in that corner against that wall of Tupac, Dear Mama, right? Melvin comes in the room and Melvin sees it. And he gets down low to him and he takes the gun from him and he wraps it up in a towel. Right? And at that point, you see that the healing process is beginning. Right? Jody is now a man and he now respects Melvin, and Melvin can now deal with him more delicately. They had to fight. But now they seeing, now Jody's able to see things more clearly, right? And it's a respect that's been shown, right? We on the same team. Why? Jody want the best for mama. Melvin want the best for mama. We both want the best for mama. And Jody learns that Melvin has nothing but mom's best interest and nothing but the best interest to help him. Melvin got out of jail. Melvin was a Hoover. It was on his back. Melvin used to gang bang, right? But now Melvin is productive. Melvin go to work, right? Melvin is a productive man, and he's going to help mama. He's going to help mama. And he's going to help Jody. And he did help Jody in this film, right? So by the end of the film, Jody has learned to forgive mama. His resentment is gone. Jody and his mother are in the garden, right? And what does the garden represent for the child? When the child's first, outside of preschool, first learning process is kindergarten, which means kind of a garden. Where this is where you're going to plant seeds of knowledge at, in the garden. And the Bible, everything starts at the garden, right? This is where seeds are planted and they grow, right? So this is where Jody's mom, this is her safe space, the garden, right? That's where it starts at. So Jody's mother now sees that he is a man by the end of the film, that last scene, right? And since he has matured and is living on his own, right? By the end of the film, Jody pulling up, he got a different demeanor to him, right? He's a man now. He's living with Yvette again. He's taking care of his kid. He's productive. He don't carry that anger and that pain no more. He see Melvin and he say, "Hey, take care of my mama, Melvin," because he's graduated from that household to now his own house. And Melvin say, "I'm on the job, baby boy." And then he play that old school music. And he asked Melvin, "What you know about that?" That was John Singleton throwing the jab at the rap music, the rap music culture. But, it's love, you know what I'm saying? But grown man music, grown man music at the end of the film. We'll build on that another day. Now, again, by the end of the film, we seeing that Jody and Melvin are on the same page, right? They're on the same page. They both want the best for mama, and they both love mama. Jody is finally healed, right? So they can now talk as two adults, right? She sees him as an equal now, right? Jody, mom is looking at him different on the last scene. She sees him now as a man, right? They can have wine in the garden and then he can just bounce to his own spot because he's the man over there. right? And we see Jody just moving different, and this is because he's no longer carrying that pain or that anger from and that resentment he had towards mama. Now he understands life process, life cycle, and he understands that mama is not perfect. She's just a human, right? And that's how the film closes, right? Now, again, mama was in the garden the whole film. She was in the garden the whole film, and again, that represents uh, the birthing place where seeds grow, where knowledge is grown, right? So you have to understand that. You have to understand that that was symbolic also. Um, did I cover everything? Let me see. Got one last thing I want to cover, right? Sometimes this is realistically, you have to understand. Mama don't want to be saved. As a young black boy with a young single black mom who might turn up from time to time, she might love the attention. As a son, you think you are naturally her protector, and you want to be, right? You want to keep mama from going to the club, keep mama from coming on to the barbershop with them tight jeans on and all the niggas looking. Niggas over sexualizing your mom, you know what I'm saying? All that. So you naturally protective of mama. But here's the thing, right? Sometimes moms just like attention. Mom is dealing with her own issues, right? It's unfortunate. But mom is a baby girl, right? You got baby boy and you got baby girl. Part two, I'm gonna do. This is on baby boy dealing with the mom, but we got to do baby girl too, right? I did baby girl too, so in thread form, I'm gonna do it in YouTube breakdown form too one day, cause mama got her own issues that she have to deal with. But again, as we are on this journey, it's one thing that we have to learn is that mama is a human. Mama is a human. Even though mama is God to the child, mama is a human. And she's still searching for love too, so she can be fully healed, right? And sometimes she's craving that attention from a male because maybe she didn't get it from her father. She didn't get the love. Mama at the club looking for love. You know, who knows? You know, you used to judge mama, but once you get the wisdom, then you say, that's just mom, man. I love her though. Right? Mercy. Give mercy, man. And we don't want to judge people, right? Because again, we're all just humans. We're all just humans. Even mama. Mama's not perfect. So I want all black men, cause when I see that manosphere, and when you listen to rap, you hear it. Bitches ain't shit but hoes and tricks. Suck on the nut. And it was so many. It's rap has always been very very anti-black woman, in the senses of, we don't love them hoes. You know, it's a lot of anger in there. It's a lot of anger in there for the black woman, and as we see men get into this man spirit with the Kevin Samuels and all that, a lot of that would not exist if men didn't carry the anger and the pain. See, when you have anger and pain for your mom, then you carry that into other relationships with other women, right? And fuck them hoes. And then you dig through his background, and he got beef with his mama. You could tell some men like Tommy Sotomayor maybe, and I've talked to Tommy Sotomayor for an hour on the phone. Imagine that. You know what I mean? And no knock on the brother, but you could tell that some a lot of these black men that's super red pill, super anti black woman, their main issue is that their relationship with their black mom was not the best. And until they heal that, they will see all black women like they see their mother. Right? Oh, that bitch ain't shit. Oh, fuck that bitch. She turned her back on me. She didn't come to my game. She's just the inner child that needs to be healed. It's the inner child that needs to be healed. And after watching this video, I hope that anybody out there that's dealing with their mother can try to heal that relationship and see mama as a human and understand that, put the ego to the side. Mama was wrong for what the fuck she did. Me and my mom literally got into it at my great grandma's funeral and made a scene. Me and my mom have had beef. You know what I mean? Me and my mom had a beef. Real beef shit. You know what I'm saying? So, but we was able to heal. And I feel like I'm a lot calmer than I used to be. I used to carry a lot of anger and pain. You know, and it haunted me through relationships with women. And now, fully healed. So on that note, family, I hope everybody who needed to hear this, check this out and, heal their relationship with their mom while they're still here in the physical. We out, family. Peace.